Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pete Perspective. I hope you are doing well. I hope you've been well. And thank you for giving me the grace. I have taken some time off, but I'm back and I'm excited because I feel like I have a new vision and kind of way of thinking as it relates to this channel, the Pete Perspective. So if you've been around here for any length of time, you kind of know we have just dabbled in different things. We've done food reviews, we talk culture, tech, life, all that sort of stuff. And I just want it to be authentic to me. I want it to be something that I just kind of talk about things that I really want to talk about and that excite me and that I'm passionate about. And so one of those things obviously is the fact that I'm a designer. I'm an independent designer based out of Pennsylvania, and I run my own business called PeteDesignCompany.com. Feel free to check me out. The business is called just Pete Design Company. But yeah, I love talking shop about, different rebrands that have happened in corporate America and, different companies and what they're doing, and just branding overall, brand identity, brand strategy, logo design, just generic graphic design, right? All that sort of stuff. That's what I'm passionate about. And so I think I want this channel to kind of revolve around some of those things. So I'm hoping to kind of take it in that direction. I hope you'll stick around and bear with the new content form. But if not, that's awesome too. If design is not your thing and you have absolutely no interest in it, I totally understand. There are other creators out there for you. So yes, just know that you're always welcome here. But today in particular, I want to talk about a recent rebrand that I found to be pretty daggone. Well, you'll have to stick around to hear my thoughts. Let's begin. Awesome. So you read the title, you know what to expect. Today we are talking about the new Colt 45 rebrand. All right, Standard Black, y'all did it. So it's funny, we think these big brands always want to work with really huge agencies, and I really don't know much about Standard Black. I do know that I looked them up on social and whatnot, and their following isn't tremendous. And so in some ways that gives me hope. Again, they could be a bigger agency, I don't know. But it gives me hope because there are some of these more boutique style agencies. I'm not saying Standard Black is one of them. However, Standard Black, I don't know if I said this, but Standard Black is the agency responsible for the Colt 45 rebrand. So let me start by saying that. I don't know if they're a small agency, a big agency, whatever, right? But it's cool to see these big companies kind of working with more niche boutique style agencies. It's hopeful for people like me who are solopreneurs and working for yourself. It shows that you can get some of those bigger clients and some of those bigger accounts, which is awesome. Yeah, Colt 45, they've been around for a while and they decided to rebrand. Standard Black was able to do it. They were able to put their team together and it looks really good. And so I would say this, the rebrands that we see that aren't dramatic, sometimes they're more of like a facelift or a brand refresh, as I would call it. Some of those more nuanced things that are like, man, you're really just changing type, but you need it to feel like the same brand, right? So when someone's walking through you go to your local beer distributor and you're walking through, you're looking for a Colt 45, you need to be able to recognize the brand, but it still look kind of refreshing, right? I guess beer is refreshing, but refreshed in the sense of the brand identity. So people need to recognize it still, but you're also trying to solve the problem of how do we make this look new and stay true to that Colt 45 identity, right? They're not trying to change the identity. They're just trying to give it a little bit of a facelift, if you will. So it's a really hard challenge, and there's a lot of effort that goes into these small brand tweaks, especially as businesses get larger. The larger the business, the more they have to lose, right? So I'll know a couple years back, I think it was Tropicana, they did a rebrand and it went terribly because they went so far in the opposite direction from what they were that people didn't even recognize them on the store shelves and their sales plummeted, right? So then they quickly had to do disaster control and work backwards. And so they ended up in some hybrid of the two where they refreshed their logo, but then the packaging changed a little bit. So yeah, these big brands have a lot to lose, and that's why it's so important when you're choosing a designer to work with, you want to work with someone who has expertise, right? You don't want to go on Fiverr and just hire some kid. You want to make sure that who you're hiring can be trusted. There are awesome people on Fiverr, I should say. There's I knew a couple designers that did really well on Fiverr, and they were awesome, excellent designers. So I'm not knocking Fiverr as a platform. I'm just saying you need to do your homework and make sure that the designer that you're entrusting your work too, has a track record and in some ways can handle the risk, right? It's risk management for the party involved and for the designer. And really that's what business is. It's about sharing and delegating and managing risk, right? So Colt 45 comes to Standard Black. They have a lot to lose. If this rebrand doesn't go well, their sales could plummet, and Standard Black has to recognize that risk, eat some of that risk, and say, yes, we'll take some of that risk if it doesn't go well. Ultimately, we think it will because we have expertise, and we're going to rework the brand, refine it without redefining it. Oh, come on. I'm preaching. Refinement, not redefinement. I don't know, but I feel like that's a sermon series right there.
Act crazy for 2 seconds and praise him!
Colt 45, a malt liquor, right? So I know a couple rap songs off the top of my head that I could think of that reference Colt 45. It's a malt liquor. It's made in the USA. It was actually created in 1963, so it's been around for some time. It has some cultural value in that sense here in America, and the good old US of A. Yeah, I think it's awesome overall. I mean, I think the way they handled it, it looks really good. If you compare the old logo versus the new one, you can clearly see the identity of the brand is still intact, right? It still has the same kind of spine that it did before, but it's modern type, it's clean, it's vector, and everything looks really, really good. So I love the way the C kind of wraps around, and you have your OLT as well, and the C just really, I think there's a lot of cool spacing things that they did that really worked to the benefit of the logo mark as a whole. I love the way right at the tip of the C on the lower half, right, it connects almost, there's some negative space, but there's a nice space in between, right in between the O, the lowercase o, and then the capital C, and then as that moves up into the L, there's a really nice amount of space there. I thought they handled that really well. And also the curve, one of the things on the descending piece of the little bottom piece of the T, that curve very closely mimics the same curve that's on the C, right? So you have that continuity in curves throughout the entire logo, which is awesome. I love that. I'm a sucker for outlines. I have to catch myself at times because when I'm doing a brand identity myself, I will outline something like a logo or type or something, and there's something about it to me that looks so good. I'm just attracted to that, at least in this season of life. I don't know why. So I'm always trying to remind myself it doesn't need to be outlined. It doesn't need to be outlined. It can just be filled, and that's okay. So I love the way it looks on the bottle. The secondary mark with the horse and the horseshoe. I think those colors, the red, the navy, the gold, they work together really well, and they play to the strength of the brand. It kind of just reinforces the original branding. Colt 45 is just known for having these big old 40s. That's to me, if I think of a 40, I'm thinking of Colt 45. The posters look awesome. The box, I just love the box presentation because they pretty much just took a box, put the branding on it, ripped it all up, and were like, yo, this is what it looks like. And it's gritty, and it just kind of feels like the everyday, just kind of workman's beer, right? They're not trying to go for premium. They're not trying to go for all, they know the people, their target audience, and they're trying to reach them. And that's why even the photography, everything's on textured backgrounds, and it's really gritty. There's no silk. There's no premium looking backgrounds or anything like that. They're just ice cold beer. Come in and get it as it is. I love the posters too, right? So the only status that concerns you is full or empty. Another one is for those times when you want something. I can't read, y'all. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. Butterfly in the sky. Yeah, I can't read. For those times when you want something you want every time. So the copy, it's well written. It goes really nicely with the can. And this is actually a statement I have here from the Standard Black, right? I have a statement here from Standard Black, and this is what they had to say about their new rebrand. Colt 45 drinkers know who they are, and they know their lager. But for loyal fans everywhere, their brand of choice was indeed, in need of an update. And some of its past identity, works every time we're looking at you, did not age well. Colt came to us with a challenge: refresh their brand with respect. Refresh the brand with respect, right? Going back to what I said earlier, you need to refresh a brand with respect to its roots. So taking old roots, putting it in new soil, that so to speak. It's a drink people are proud to hold in their hands. We set out to make it look the part, completely redesigning the brand's visual world from the ground up, refining the elements that worked, redefining the rest. And it didn't stop there. The brand voice needed an elevation too, an evolution. Damn, freaking A, I can't read. A walk. I'm done. I'm back. A way of talking to people and talking about the product that stays true to the well-earned swagger at the core of Colt, but with an approach that works better in the here and now. By losing one very loaded word and finding a truly authentic, no BS tone, we helped Colt 45 change the game without changing their classic flavor. Y'all, let me tell you, there is a lot of intention. Just in those couple paragraphs alone, there's a lot of intention that you can just hear oozing out of the words, right? I know that they approach this with care and intentionality, and I love that. I think the Colt 45 Blue is very recognizable, and their palette is awesome. So way to go, Standard Black. Way to go, Standard Black. Definitely approve of the new branding. Not that you need my approval, but I'm just letting you know y'all did a great job and deserve some recognition for that. So anyways, I'm excited to cover the next brand identity with you. I have a couple more ideas, and I'm gonna be coming to you with those soon. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new Colt 45 brand identity, and if there are any brands that you want me to review, okay? So you can find me on Instagram at Pete__Rodriguez. You can subscribe to this channel. You can hit the notification bell. You can check out some of my work at PeteDesignCompany.com. And yes, I hope y'all stay safe, man. I'm excited to see you guys in the next video. I'll see you then. Peace.